And welcome back to another episode of Over the Glass. I'm your host, Ness. It's been a couple, it feels like it's been a long 2 weeks since the last time we were here. I don't even know what's happened, to be honest with you. I remember the Sharks going on a losing streak. They finally broke that yesterday. But aside from that, my long term memory seems very fuzzy.
Yeah, well, last time we spoke, I had a little bit of a feeling that if I say anything positive about the Sharks, once again being anywhere near a playoff spot, that's when they're gonna tank or do
Yeah.
something. And as much as I try to avoid saying anything relatively positive or optimistic or anything of the sort, they did go on a bit of a losing streak. Granted, the Pacific Division is going through a thing collectively where at this point, last time we spoke, even if they didn't go on this losing streak, I was going to be fine either way. Given that the division is not very good right now, and we're seeing the development of these young guys. I've been perfectly fine with the development of Sam Dickinson. I'm really hoping that Poulin has shown enough in this 1 year contract that he's been given that he will be able to stay with the club. It looks a little fuzzy at the moment. The tea leaves are not telling me anything. He had a really good game yesterday, in my opinion. But again, is it enough? Is he consistent enough? I've seen on Twitter, people are talking about how he was benched in favor of bringing Letty back up, which I was actually surprised that I thought once Letty went down, that was a sign of goodbye. See you later. Your last game with the Sharks. So I don't know what that's all about. Honestly, the fact that Letty got brought up, I don't have any ill feelings towards him. Obviously, he's not one of the better defensemen in our lineup, but we were going through a thing, and I get it. People have their opinions of when things aren't going right on the ice. I think it is necessary for you to change up the lines. And if it's not clicking in that moment, I don't have a problem with lines being changed up again. I think these guys are very used to that happening. You have to be able to be adaptable in this league. You can't be like, oh, well, if I can't play with bestie one or two, I guess that's it for me.
Yeah.
That's not great for the longevity of your career. Obviously, at the end of the day, and this is me mainly talking about the discourse of taking, benching Smith and, him not playing with Celebrini. The game after that, he was on the third line. I'm fine with it, guys. I mean, I think this we've talked about this season in particular. We didn't think we would be here. It's great
Yeah.
that we're here. It's great that we got a chance to humor the prospect of making the playoffs. We're still in the race. Is it looking like, I don't know, as much anymore? Yes. I mean, they will really have to go on a hot streak. Vegas will have to continue its downward trajectory over the last couple of weeks. It's been really interesting to see them just free fall. To
Yeah.
just be at the brink of, if this division wasn't so terrible, they would be out of the playoffs right now.
It's
That is the
true.
situation that we're in. This division is so bad right now that a team like Vegas would be out of the running. And because this division is so terrible, we get to possibly talk about maybe making the playoffs. We didn't know that this was going to happen. Like I said, I'm here for whatever may come, but we've got a lot of young guys in our group. They are going to have to, adapt, be flexible, continue to grow their game. Just because you have chemistry with somebody for like 80% of the season you're
Mhm.
bound to hit a wall. And if that one person or both of them are hitting walls, you're going to have to change it up, especially because every one of these games matter.
Mhm.
And even sticking with them for maybe a whole nother period to, well, they'll get back on the horse. Like, if it's not working, it's not working. The objective of the 60 minutes of ice time, your goal is to win the game.
R
So, I mean, Smith and Celebrini are back on the same line now. Just needed a little shakeup.
Right.
Whether
You
or not,
just
I have zero opinions about whether or not like Smith should have been benched. Honestly, during that game, I wasn't as focused on things outside of the fact that, wow, the Sharks are playing really shitty
Yeah.
collectively right now. You have to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, okay. You're you're helping me remember what the things that I've been wanting to, like, talk about. So also, it's like I'm not in the playoffs for a fantasy team, so I don't have to be paying as much attention to hockey right now with, like, oh, like, what players are playing good right now and stuff, but, so I do remember there was a game where the Sharks were constantly turning the puck over and it was atrocious. I do remember people like talking about that and it was a big deal. It might have been the game where Smith might have been benched, and everyone's complaining about like why is he the only one getting punished for it or like what's the word, like he's the only one being held accountable, right?
And it is really not the case.
um there, and this losing streak kind of helped me realize a little bit, or like, yeah, how I actually don't want the Sharks to make the playoffs this year. As fun as it would be, they're not ready. They really struggled playing against these teams that they lost to the past those 5 games that they lost. They started to play really well against the Blue Jackets. Their defense finally started to, you know, keep the Blue Jackets off the score sheet or whatever. And it was a tight game. But the other games, like specifically against the Predators, that was nasty. Like I do remember catching that game and they scored like 5 goals in the first period. And it's like you can't do that. Like specifically like these they keep talking about how these games down the stretch here, the last month or so before the playoffs start are really important because teams start to play a little bit at like a higher level because they're heading into the playoffs because they want to make it. They're trying to get their standings, like they want to get the best matchups and whatever. And the Sharks couldn't hold on, like they just weren't playing at the same level. And a few weeks or a few episodes back, we talked about like if the playoffs had started that week, they would have been up against the Avalanche, and it's like, that would, I think that would be a very traumatizing experience for them. They wouldn't want to play hockey again after that. But yeah, I think the best course for them right now is to play whatever they need to do, get through these games, fix what they need to fix. I don't think they should be making the playoffs right now, honestly. And like you mentioned, and I didn't even think about it at this like I didn't even think about it this way, is that because the Pacific Division is not playing well right now is the only reason the Sharks are in the talks of making the playoffs, a wild card spot, because they're just not there yet, and Celebrini, obviously, like Smith and whoever, have elevated this team a lot faster than we anticipated. But in reality, if all these other teams weren't sucking just as bad, we wouldn't be having this conversation about playoffs. So I think this stretch was an eye opener, or like it kind of helped me set my views into reality because like we love this team. There's always going to be a bias, but no, they're not playoff ready. As much as we would love to see it this soon, they're just not ready.
Yeah. And the game against St. Louis,
Mm,
they seem to be doing okay up until what, 2 seconds left in OT. It got dumped. I forgot how it happened. I just remember how it ended, where it was a couple of seconds left and the Blues got the puck and they scored in that
yeah.
moment. It felt like, and this just reiterates the importance of not quitting on any play or not trying to just hold, how they say, oh, the team's playing on their heels. Oh, they're playing like, oh, we have this lead. Cool. Let's just try and not do anything for the next 10 minutes. No, you have to keep going. You can't just like hold on to it because the other team is going to be hungry. The other team is focused on, no, I want to win. I mean, the Blues are not making the playoffs, but the Blues are probably looking towards next season, and the way that OT ended, where I'd imagine they were thinking, oh, 2 seconds left. Well, we're just gonna go. We'll just figure it out in shootout. And then the Blues goal scorer was like, no, I'm gonna end it now. Forget shootout. We're ending it now, and it sucks. I mean, the Sharks did get a point there. So, however, the division ends up playing out for the next, how many games do we have left? We have
Like
13
nine.
games left.
Oh, just kidding.
No, I don't know how to add. Never mind. Um,
11.
yeah,
11.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. I mean, the Pacific is being terrible right now. Who's to say that the Sharks don't somehow squeeze in there? I mean, at this point, I mean, if the Golden Knights continue to on their over, like I think over the last 10 games. Let me see if I can get.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Say the Sharks somehow make it to the playoffs and they're still, because the Pacific is so bad. Right now, I think they're maybe the sixth or seventh worst team in the league. If they jump over, who are they? Who are they up against? The Kings and the Kraken. If they jump over them, that would put them at like 10 or 11. If they make the playoffs, how does the order of that go in the draft? Are they still like 11th worst? or or does it I don't understand that.
I have zero information to provide for you.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see how this season goes, and once it's all said and done, the draft is the next conversation up. So at this moment, I would just like to see the Sharks try their best to close it out with. I mean, either way, they're going to have a much better record than they did last season.
Right.
Yeah, I think I did see earlier this week that Dickinson was getting some time on the power play if he's not already on there.
Hmm.
Let's see. Nope, he's on the second power play. So yeah, Dickinson's been getting some time on the second power play. Um, I do want to talk up about Keith Sherwood. If anyone has any doubts still about his acquisition and all of that over the last couple of games, he has been the best player out on the ice. He is doing everything that he
Consistently.
needs to do. He's been out there on the second line with Alexander Wenberg and William Eklund. I really like that line. I think Misa and Graf, and then I mean Toffoli's going through a little thing right now, but like that's
Mhm.
fine. I mean the fourth line has been pretty consistent all season. They know their assignment. When they go out there, they get it done. Yeah, so our last couple of weeks, like I mean Chernyshov with the game winning play
Mhm.
last game. Ooh, like as much as it's gonna be a bummer that the Sharks, maybe fizzled out here in the last like 20 games or whatever, like I'm pretty excited for what I'm seeing with these young guys in just a couple of seasons that they've been brought up with the Sharks, and it's very youth driven. The youth
Hmm.
are driving this bus, and the veterans are just there to help guide them in the right direction. And that reminds me about how Askarov came back in the game against the Blues, I think it was, and he was doing so well up until, unfortunately, Darnay pushed some guy
Right
into
into
Askarov in the crease, and he
yeah.
felt a little awkward, and that sucks. Now he's back. He's been out there practicing, but they did call up Brossois, so he has been playing back up. And yeah, it's shitty for Askarov. He was looking really well, and then just shit happens. But I don't know. Hopefully, Guy gets to actually have a full season coming up here soon.
Yeah, that would be nice, huh? It sucks because he's supposed to be our number one goalie in the near future. And if he hasn't been able to do, like, I guess last year didn't really count because they were still trying to, like, get him warmed up to the league. But he hasn't played a full season for us yet, which really sucks. But we're feeling optimistic for him because when he's good, you know?
And I mean,
Um,
as long like my concern, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is not to have a 82 game goaltender, right? Injuries are going to happen.
well,
But
yeah.
my concern is that it hinders his development because he has been making improvements, but then there are obviously things that he needs to work on. And he was
Mhm.
doing so well during the Blues game only to find himself once again injured. Granted, this season is coming to a close anyway, so it's not like this happens in like game 5
Right.
and now he's out long term because something whatever. So I would say like that's just my main concern for that happening to me. Like, man, like he was getting a boost of confidence. He's doing really well. Granted, it's the Blues. Yeah. So, but I mean, there's been pictures I've been seeing where he's obviously traveling with the team because
Hmm.
they're on a they yeah, they were or on. Yeah, they're still on a road trip. They're coming back start of next week. So he's been in good spirits. He was really happy for Mukundulin at the end of last game. Um, yeah, so that would be just the thing that comes to mind with seeing him having to go down again.
Right.
Sad, frustrating.
Yeah. On a lighter note, I was watching the game yesterday. I caught the Blue Jackets feed, which, first of all, I hate listening to a game when Randy is not calling it because he makes it so fun and entertaining. But I heard someone got caught on a hot mic at one point. I think they said it was Olivier. He was like talking shit to Celebrini. He was telling him to like
Oh,
shut the fuck up, like stop saying so much or something. And I'm like, I wish I heard what Celebrini had said. He's such a little shit out there. So silly. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we want to talk about with these guys other than, I'm actually I'm pro tank the rest of the season so that we can get a higher draft pick.
nah. I think I'm over that. I think I'm over that. I want the
just
guys to
just one
have
more season.
use these last handful of games, and especially for the youth. Like it, if we tank, Celebrini is gonna have like an aneurysm. Like
Right.
bro needs to end this season strong and just barely outside of the playoff window.
Yeah. I just think it'd be fun for them to get a higher draft pick again. It helps. Like we need
I
a
mean, but
good.
look at the New York Islanders though. They didn't, where they were last season and they had the luck of getting the first overall pick, which I'm jealous of them having such a great season right now. Like, whatever.
Must be nice.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be the luck of the the lottery or whatever you want to call it. And I think I think the Sharks will find themselves in a good position to
Mm.
get a good player. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be the first overall guy. I
No.
think we are going to be probably trying to get another defenseman, but or whoever the next best player is, and I think they'll find themselves in a good spot.
Yeah.
That or Greer will do his magic to bundle up package to get into a much better position in the playoffs. I mean, not play the draft. Like he will work his magic. I have confidence he will
The
get another good player.
Mike Greer magic.
He will figure it out. He already
uh,
knows who he's going to pick. He's going to control the universe to acquire this player. He will figure it out.
he will bend every like NHL commissioner to his will. Not commissioner,
He
sorry,
will figure it out.
GMs. Yeah, he will. Um, okay, so do you want to talk about this sick ass logo that the Sharks used for their Vietnamese Heritage celebration?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it already, it's pretty cool. Right off the bat, I recognized the building that was placed in the background. If you're not familiar with San Jose, there is a Vietnamese area right outside of downtown, and this is like the main building of that plaza area. So the artist is Brandon J. Tam, and so he talks about the main crest. He drew inspiration from Vietnamese history, storytelling, and family. The heron, often seen in traditional, I might butcher this, dong song drum imagery, which is from the 700 BC through 100 AD, represents grace, harmony, community, and spiritual strength. Lotus flowers reference Vietnam's national flower with colors inspired by lotus petals blended with shark's teal. The shield shape is inspired by the Grand Central Mall on Surrey Road, a gathering place for the Vietnamese community in San Jose. The archway forms a sunset as the heron and shark travel across the ocean together. They symbolize the long road many Vietnamese communities traveled from Vietnam to America, each carrying their own stories along the way. So the shoulder patch is inspired by the postage stamps from the Saigon Central Post Office in Vietnam, featuring the Doing Ca map, the team Teal, the team sharks in Vietnamese across the top. The stamp acts as a symbol connecting our lives in America to our roots in Vietnam. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a video of him explaining this one specifically, and he chose to do a stamp because his mom used to send a lot of letters back when she was in Vietnam. Like this was her way of her form of communicating back with her family. So I thought that was a really nice personal touch that he did there. We always whoops we always love the what I'm doing here messing with this my tabs. We always love the heritage jerseys that the Sharks put out and like the specialty jerseys. There's always a lot of thought that goes into these by the artists. The Flames also did one recently for their South Asian Heritage Celebration. These were pretty sick.
Yeah. And featuring Zane Prek,
Yeah, your fave.
who's Indian and Korean.
Korean. So there's a if you guys haven't seen it yet, if you guys are listening, there's a bunch of like different kinds of flowers here within the sea of the Calgary Flames logo. They're like a bit like more muted colors. It looks like a pinkish and like a maroonish. They're very, very pretty, very detailed. The design inspiration says the textile inspired detailing evokes memories of patterns found in garments, shawls, or embroidery passed down through mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and family traditions. Wearing this logo becomes a subtle yet powerful way to honor the generations who preserve culture through art and craftsmanship. The internal design language draws from a wide range of South Asian textile traditions, including Punjabi, Rajasthani, Kashmiri, and Mughal. I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly. My apologies. Influenced embroidery. These traditions share common visual elements such as dense florals, flowing vines, and symmetrical patterns together. They represent craftsmanship, heritage, and intergenerational storytelling that transcends borders, languages, religions, and national identities. The internal detailing of the flaming sea follows the natural curves and the motion of the flames logo and its elements. There's a lot of text on these. The core symbolism. I love this one specifically. It's like so beautifully done. The paisley motifs are a symbol of life, growth, and continuity and prosperity within South Asian artistic traditions. Historically rooted in textile embroidery design, paisley represents motion and renewal, aligning naturally with the pace, energy, and forward momentum of professional hockey. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. The artwork blends structured embroidery motifs with the organic fluidity of henna design. Henna is widely recognized across South Asian cultures as an art form associated with celebration, unity, and meaningful life transitions. This fusion reflects the balance between tradition and modern expression, structure, and movement, heritage, and progress. I really like this one. And then the hello, what's happening? The color strategies. So they use gold, oxblood, burnt maroon, rust, antique rose, and olive green. The logo is anchored in gold-inspired embroidery linework, reflecting gold's deep cultural significance across South Asian communities as a symbol of prosperity, honor, celebration, and legacy. Gold is closely associated with important life milestones, heritage, craftsmanship, and generational continuity, while also providing a premium elevated finish that aligns with professional league standards and the prestige of the Calgary Flames brand. A darker, richer palette inspired by maroon and oxblood tones conveys regality, depth, and historical richness found in South Asian ceremonial textiles. These colors remain cohesive with the Calgary Flames' iconic red identity, creating a seamless connection between cultural heritage and team branding. I like these colors. Not something I would normally work with, but very nicely done. And then this is the artist, Navi Jaj, I want to say.
He has.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I looked it up before we started recording.
Oh, okay, thank you. Um, she's a Calgary-born artist whose work spans fashion design, henna artistry, fine art, and immersive event design. With a background in fashion design and over 2 decades exploring different art forms, her work moves fluidly between handcrafted artistic mediums and large-scale creative environments. I think you can see that in the design, in the logo that she designed. Her inspiration is deeply rooted in her South Asian heritage. As a proud Punjabi and mother of twins, she is passionate about keeping her language and culture alive and sharing it with the next generation. Designing the South Asian celebration logo for the Flames has been deeply meaningful for Navi, as the daughter of the immigrants. Seeing South Asian culture celebrated on stage like this reflects how far the community has come while continuing to honor its roots, and it is a moment she's proud to share with her family. At the heart of her work is a simple belief: art has the power to celebrate culture, tell stories, and bring beauty into everyday life. I agree. I'm gonna go back just
I
to
would really
show.
like to see later. I'll probably go a little digging. I'd love to hear what Zane thought of the design.
Yeah. Okay, one more jersey design that we can talk about before I do my ad read here. It is the Sharks and Barracuda did a collab. Well, this is a Barracuda jersey that they wore for a game. Future is Teal game, I believe. Look at this sick ass logo they did. it shows it showcases the Barracuda and the shark together on this logo. Um, there we go. So this is the front crest. Calling making waves. San Jose is buzzing. From the Sharks to the Barracuda, a new era of energy is taking over the organization. The Cuda and the Sharks are ready to strike, and the future is teal. So again, you see the Barracuda here with the shark, and there's the fin in the background. Obviously, there's a bunch of waves here, which is why they name it making waves. And then the two patches that they use are the fin logo that the Sharks use currently for their jerseys, and then one that says the future is teal, in case you didn't know. What are these? Was this on the jersey as well?
It
Affiliate
was at the
history.
bottom.
Oh, nice. While playing in the International Hockey League, the IHL, and American Hockey League, which is the AHL, our development teams made stops in Kansas City, Kentucky, Cleveland, Worcester, and now San Jose.
Worcester.
Worcester. And then this is the, oh, I see it now. This is the back of the jersey. Honoring the past, the future is teal jersey draws inspiration from iconic looks of the past. The San Jose Sharks 2007 to 2013, and the Worcester Sharks from 2007 to 2015 both don these classic sweaters on the ice. Yeah, I kind of remember these. This is a cool little collab sort of homage thing that they did. I liked it.
I'm sad to learn that it was only available for auction, which is always crappy for me because as much as I would have participated in getting one of these, but I can't wear any of the guys' jerseys. Like,
Yeah.
it would be down to my knees.
It's the only time we'll ever see you wearing a dress.
Yeah, right. Like, I even looked at, well, what size does Kenyoni wear? And he still,
yeah.
it's big.
Too big.
So that sucks. I really, really like this jersey. Unfortunately, it is only for that one game, and only for the players' jerseys that they put up for auction.
Right. But it's okay. At least we get to admire the logo still. It was really nice.
They should make that, like, they should put it on other merch.
Like shirts and stuff.
Yeah, like, it's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't, because I feel like they usually do. Or,
Well, okay, this is just me seeing what's on the internet. Like, maybe they have it over if you go to where the Barracuda play. I don't know yet. But
Okay.
that's just me talking out loud. Maybe they do have stuff, but I saw this and I went hunting and I couldn't find it. So that was my conclusion.
They just didn't have it.
That they just needed the idea.
All right. I'm going to take a break here to do our ad read. As y'all know, as always, we are sponsored by DraftKings. So, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code XXX. That's code XXX to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas. Wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming sources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright 2026. NHL. All rights reserved. And for let's do money line for tomorrow, Monday. Penguins and the Islanders going head to head. Penguins with a plus 105 and the Islanders with a minus 125. Flames and Avalanche. Flames with a plus 280. Avalanche with a minus 355. Canucks and Golden Knights. Canucks with a plus 260, and the Knights with a minus 325. Maple Leafs and Ducks. The Leafs with a plus 160 and a negative 192 for the Ducks. And lastly, the Sharks are going to be playing the Blues once again, with the Blues at a minus 110 and the Sharks also at a minus 110. So you don't, I don't know if you should bet on that one.
If you do, and I'm not giving you any, analytical advice, but I'm giving you vibes advice that if Bennington starts that game, you know what we would say.
Right. All right. On to the next thing here, which is your Rangers. I see you're sporting their merch today. What's
The
going on with
man
this?
of the hour. The man of the hour, Mika Zibanejad, has played over 1,000 games. This man joins many others who have reached this milestone. He was originally drafted by the Senators, played with them for a couple of years. This led to that, and he got traded to the Rangers. And there was some talk last season, which as much as I try to be unbiased, I don't believe that my thoughts on last season are biased by any means. I think people just expect too much every year after every year, despite the fact that they have so many amazing players on their team, they couldn't get it done. But everyone decided, let's just put this all on Mika Zibanejad, who they made a series of trades last season thinking, yes, JT Miller will solve all our problems. And he has just been one of their problems this season. Whereas Mika has been their best player all season. So he, as the universe would have it, his 1,000th game was played against the Ottawa Senators, who drafted him. I wasn't really expecting that they'd win that game, and they did not. But that is fine because Mika is a winner. At the time of him celebrating his 1,000th game, he had 344 goals, 463 assists, 807 points, and 18,535 minutes and 58 seconds of time on ice. I don't know how that compares to other people who have reached this milestone, but we do know that you don't reach this milestone of 1,000 games if you are not among the best players in the league.
That's true.
So, as I mentioned, he was drafted by the Ottawa Senators, 6th overall, June 24, 2011. He made his NHL debut and recorded his first NHL point on October 7th of 2011. So, made his debut the fall after he got drafted. On February 27, 2016, he scored his first career hat trick. And then on July 18th, 2016, he was traded to the New York Rangers. And then from there, he went on to the 2018-2019 season to earn his first Rangers team MVP award and the Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award. March 5th, 2020, he scored 5 goals in a game, tying the Rangers franchise record. I have that bobblehead in the next room. That game was amazing. That game was stupid. just the fact that he scored all of those, it's like his 5th goal. I remember he turned around, he was skating, letting momentum push him to the boards, and he just had this look of like, what? In 2019-2020 season, he earned his second Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award. March 17, 2021, recorded 6 points, 3 goals, and 3 assists in a single period.
Insane.
In 2022-23 season, earned his second Rangers team MVP award, and then June 2nd, 2026 became the first player in Winter Classic history to record a hat trick and a 5-point game. So on June 17th, 2026, he had
January.
117 January 17, 2026, 117 power play goals. He broke the Rangers franchise record for the most power play goals and tied the Rangers franchise record for most hat tricks. And finally, come to the main event. He played his 1,000th NHL game on March 23rd, 2026. The Rangers social media feed was a lot of fun that night. All the players walked in. They were all wearing a variety of wigs. They did a timeline of his headshots throughout the seasons,
Mm-hmm.
like short hair, long hair, all that stuff. So that's why the players were coming in with all different styles of his hair. His family was in attendance. His daughter was incredibly adorable, as she does. And I don't remember if he scored or got a point, but you know what? Whatever. This dude's amazing. Obviously, I'm a fan of his. And I was listening very briefly to the one and only Rangers podcast, and really the one and only podcast I listen to that have two straight bros on it. Um, say all you want about this guy, but one of the hosts, I was like, at least you admit that you're a little unreasonable with your grudge. But this dude, like, they were talking about this game, and one of the guys, was like congratulating Mika, blah, blah, blah. They were both really, like, in my opinion, ridiculously harsh on him last season when the entire team was shit. The entire
Mm-hmm.
team was shit. And it reminded me just the amount of times, like, every episode that they record and they talk about the team being shitty. If I had $1 for every minute that they spent blaming it on Mika, I would be pretty rich. Maybe I could afford one of those auction jerseys that we were talking about earlier for the Barracuda. And then, of course, now this season, he's their best player. And they've traded off Panarin, like Trocheck. I was, watching the scores for fantasy. Okay, great. Trocheck, you got me a whole 3 hits today. This guy is their best player. The stats that I just read off to you guys, like, can you name another player off the top of your head right now that isn't like a Sidney Crosby, that isn't like a, Evgeny Malkin, like 5 goals in one game, like hat trick after hat trick, like all this stuff, getting all these awards and everything. Dude has one shitty season, and the discourse around that reminded me of when Sharks fans were peppering at Erik Karlsson. Like, I get it. He is the best, one of the best players on your team. But we had other really good players on the team. But people, they lock in on something and they're just like, well, this is like, we needed him to be better, though. Like, well, we needed him to be better. And despite the fact that he has this amazing, he's right back on the horse, right back on the
Mm-hmm.
horse. One of the hosts was like, well, I have this grudge from last season, so therefore he would not say anything nice about Mika for his 1,000th
That's
game.
that's so silly.
This guy has like done such amazing things, not only in his career, but for the New York Rangers. He has one shitty season along your shitty ass team, and you can't say anything nice. The one thing I will agree on is they ended that segment with being like, he said, well, I wish him well in San Jose. And I'm like, gladly.
That's silly.
Wish it into the universe. I will welcome this man with open arms and will immediately get his jersey if he gets traded to San Jose. I will gladly accept your dismay for this guy.
No,
One
for real.
season. Shitty along your shitty ass team. And you can't celebrate this guy? Come on.
The
Ridiculous.
euphoria you would feel if he was wearing a shark sweater.
He would look real nice in teal.
I don't know if that would make sense for the Sharks, to be honest, but I'm not
I
a
mean, right now he would have to agree with he's got a no movement clause. He's got a couple of years left in, I I think he would maybe be on the trading block if they could get him to waive his no movement clause. I mean, they moved on from Panarin, who would have been up for a contract this upcoming season. They were just like, no, we're moving on. We're like, look at our team, it's shit. We can't lock you into another long term contract. It doesn't make
right.
sense for us. I don't know what direction the New York Rangers are going to go to at the end of the season. They are whether they mean to do it, they're tanking.
Right.
They won against the Florida Panthers just now, which I don't
The
know
Panthers suck
what's
too
up.
this year, so
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the Panthers, but I mean, they meant to trade Trotrek at the trade deadline. That didn't end up happening. I still think it's going to happen in the off season. So I mean, right now, I think the narrative around Mika is that he's comfortable in New York. He enjoys New York. I think it's a family related reason why he's like, you know what, I'm having a great season. He probably is optimistic that he can help turn around the Rangers. I don't know if I believe that,
mhm.
but but it is going to come down to the choice of the player. But we have seen in previous seasons how there was a bit of a tainting of the water with moving on from Jacob Trouba. There's a little bit of a tainting of the water with Chris Kreider. I don't know if they're going to turn evil with tainting the water of making going in that direction with Mika. But whatever the case may be, I mean, he's in his early 30s, so it's not like prime necessarily, right? But we have what Toffoli, we have Wenberg, depending on the direction, how prepared the Sharks are in the next couple of years. I don't know. Maybe he will be like, you know what? I want more like vibe focus than Stanley Cup focus. He hasn't won a Stanley Cup. I would think any player wants to win the Stanley Cup, so why would you come to the Sharks? We're not quite there
Right.
yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Whatever the case may be, honestly, it would be bias of me to say, yes, let's trade for Mika. But if he happens to find his way here, I will not be upset.
You'd be the opposite, actually. You'd be so
I would be
ecstatic.
beaming. My one of my good friends, her favorite player outside of the Sharks was Eric Carlson. So when we got Eric
Mm,
Carlson, she was immediately got his jersey.
right.
Immediately.
Yeah, I could understand that. There's something I wanted to touch on that I completely forgot when we were talking about the Sharks, because I kind of wanted to get your opinion. Um, do you remember how a few games ago, the last game that Reeves played, he like dislocated his pinky? It was so gross. And then he was basically out for the rest of the game. And then who was it? I think Max Miller asked Goodrow a question after the game, and like Goodrow broke down crying and was just like talking like about Reeves as if he had died or something. He was so emotional, and I was like, it was really weird, right? Because it was like nothing prompted that emotion. It was like he just wanted his opinion on how he felt that like Reeves is always stepping up to the plate and whatever. Did you watch that game, or did you see all that was happening?
I mean, I watched the game. I didn't see the dislocating of the finger, and figured it's not something I need to see.
Right.
Um, I'm pretty sure they're time in New York also, I think
Mhm.
they were both on the Rangers around the same time. So I just kind of chalked that up as like Goodrow's good friends with Reeves, and Reeves is 39. Maybe he's just got caught up in, the we've got a handful of games left. Bro's probably gonna retire. I don't get to see him in the locker room every day. Like, sadness.
Right. Yeah, because I was kind of getting those vibes too. Like maybe he's getting ready to call it quits after this season or something. Because he's not playing a lot of minutes anymore. You know, he's kind of slow out there now. Maybe his body's like telling him he's done, since like his game's rougher. So like the body can only take so much. I was just curious. It's kind of sad. Guys love him. Anyways, yesterday, since we record on Sunday, yesterday the 28th was Captain Canada. His birthday apparently. You wanna talk her up a bit? Aries Queen.
Yeah, I mean, Marie-Philippe Poulin had her birthday. She is currently on injured reserve, so she didn't get to play against the Sirens. They did have their takeover tour game in Michigan, and
Hmm.
the Victoire managed to pull a win for their captain. The Sirens were up early in that game, and so I was checking it out, and the Victoire came back, and I learned about a new player, Catherine Dubois. She is a sniper.
Yeah.
That woman's a sniper. She got 2 goals late in that third, and I was just like, damn, that is a snipe.
Yeah, the Montreal Victoire are still second in the standings, but they're still pretty up there. I think I really enjoy the PWHL point system with the 3-2-1. They have 46 points right now, just behind the Boston Fleet, which, if y'all haven't been keeping up with anything PWHL related, the Boston Fleet are fucking killing it right now. They are setting records. I'm not a Boston fan. I'm not talking them up just to talk them up. This is like legitimately impressive. They have 3 straight shutouts in the past 3 games. Erin Frankel is doing crazy stuff. She has
Team USA's Aaron Frankel.
absolutely, yes. Gold medal winner Erin Frankel has now secured 7 shutouts this season and recorded the longest shutout streak in PWHL history, which is so silly to say because this league is very brand new. But, the numbers are still impressive. She has a 180-minute shutout streak, 9 periods, 0 goals. Congrats to her. That's crazy. It feels almost unfair, and it's so funny too because she is so little. I don't actually know her height, but like you see her next to other players, and she is tiny. Wait, I'm gonna look this up. Erin
He is
Frank.
5'5".
And she's taller than me. She still looks very small out there. If you guys haven't been able to catch these games, go ahead and try. They're free on YouTube. Literally subscribe to them. Click that notification button. You'll get notifications on your phone for when the games are up. Pop in, watch them, support them. We love women's sports. Next up, I was really excited about this. I was not able to go to this game, but yesterday the Golden State Storm had their very first game at Laney College here in Oakland. This is I think the very first women's tackle football team that the Bay has ever had. Unfortunately, their debut did not go well. They got shut out 36-0 playing against the San Diego Rebellion. My friend went and he was saying that the crowd was good, but like they were not playing their best out there. Again, it's a new team. I don't know if they need to build chemistry or like they just need to learn the systems, okay? Because I don't really know how football works that well, but I'll learn. Um, but yeah, so it was nice to see, like, follow along, like, on socials, like like the updates they were posting, getting the fans hyped up, like it's game day, telling them buy tickets. You can watch these games for free on the Victory Plus app. If you can download it, sign up for free. You literally don't have to pay for anything. And they have they have a few options on there, which I thought was interesting. Like, you can watch Ducks games and the Dallas Stars games, as well as these women football games. And I can't remember off the top of
And
my
you can watch the
head.
NWSL on there,
Thank you. Yeah. So,
which I did watch a game on there the other day, and I can talk about that a little later.
okay. Yeah. So it's a pretty neat app. You can catch some stuff for free. As well as the community coming together to support another team here in Oakland. I think they said that there were about 4,000 people that went out there to support them, which is really nice, because they're playing at a college, like it's not a huge venue, but the fact that there were that many people there was cool. And then after the game, there is a restaurant called Chingones Cantina over here on, where are you? Like, I think they're located on 4th Street or something, very close to the field where they played. They call it After the Storm Fifth Quarter. And so after the game, people could go over and have drinks, some food, whatever, and just chop it up or whatever. This same restaurant was having a viewing party or whatever for Bay FC for the game earlier in the day. So it's really nice to see that Oakland coming together and supporting a lot of these teams coming up. Were you gonna talk about Bay FC?
Yeah, so I mean, they started off strong for their first game, and then there was a bit of a hiccup for their second game against Angel City. But then, so the other day, I had a full schedule of watch the Montreal Victoire, then watch the Sharks, then watch Bay FC. It was like all day of sports. So the Sharks game and the Bay FC game overlapped towards the end there, so I tuned in about 10 minutes before halftime, and the AFC was already up 3-0. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
okay, cool, good for us.
Yeah.
They did get up a goal there, but I learned about a player on the North Carolina Courage, Manaka Matsukobu, who is a Japanese soccer player, and they were talking up about how let me see, she won an award over the last couple of seasons. Okay. She won the NWSL Midfielder of the Year this past season. She finished with 11 goals and third in the NWSL. So she was the one who got the goal against Bay. So I was like, okay, well, as long as she's like this really amazing player, I'll allow it. So it was a really nice goal, but I was like, damn it. Because, it would have been nice for Bay to have, a commanding game after. It was very no bueno, that second game they had against Angel City. I was like, yikes. But I mean, like you're talking about with the Storm, new team. I mean, yes, Bay is in their third season, but they did have a coaching change. They've made a number of different roster moves. So there's a ton of new players even that they brought in early last season. So it's almost like a entirely new team. Granted, maybe one or two players from the inaugural season, but they looked really good against the Courage the other day, and they got that win. And so currently they're 2-1. They're 6 in the standings, and yeah, so I was very happy with them yesterday.
Always love a win. It's nice to see them coming up because, after that first season, they made the playoffs and no one was expecting. It was really exciting. And then last year was kind of a disappointing Like they just weren't meshing all that great with the scores that I was seeing up. Lastly, I want to talk about the Valkyries, Golden State Valkyries, because their season's about to start up soon. And I had an inkling because like a couple nights ago, my friend texted me a link to buy a jersey because they were on sale, and I was like, "Why are their jerseys on sale? It feels like they're gonna get some new ones soon." And he was like, "I don't know, just get it because these things are usually like $150. They're on sale for like $50." So if you want, check that out. Get some swag, whatever. Tomorrow, again, we record on Sunday, so tomorrow, Monday the 30th, they're going to announce. They're not saying what. They're gonna announce something tomorrow, but they've had a couple of videos of them asking the players of like, if you could design your dream jersey, what would it be? And then they're showing reactions of the players being shown something. So you can kind of put two and two together. They're going to announce some jerseys. Everyone is suspecting that they're going to be violet. So the Valkyries violet, which everyone has been wanting. And I think they're going to be really sick. And I'm going to want one of those because we all love, it's more like a lavender. We've talked about this. It's a really pretty color. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. Like if they're gonna put any more designs in it, like how like the NBA, like the Warriors, they put like the cable car on a jersey, or they'll put like the bridge on there to like really tie in the Bay connection to it. I'm curious to see if they do anything like that this time around, but we'll see. I'm excited.
Yep.
I think that's all we got for you today. Is there any last minute thoughts?
Oh, apparently Hillary Knight will be back in the lineup for the Seattle Torrent. Just saw this update.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought she was out for a while. Good for her. Torrent. Yeah, they're last in the league right now. They're gonna need some help.
Knight's gonna drag them through the dirt.
No, for real.
Get them to the playoffs. No, they should tank so that they can get Layla Edwards.
It's true. It's true. I'll definitely become a Torrent fan. I'm not committed to anyone yet. I'm rooting for all of them. I want everyone to have a great time. All right. I guess that's all we have for you this week. I've been your host, Ness.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch y'all in a couple of weeks. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, well, that's the end of the episode. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us wherever you get your audio podcasts. Also, help us gain more visibility by leaving a 5-star rating. We truly appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you at the next puck drop.